Book of Heaven, Volume 24, August 2nd, 1928. How it is absolute will of God for these writings to come out. The work of redemption and the kingdom of the Divine Fiat are linked together. The field of the divine will. Explanations. I was feeling all concerned because of these blessed writings. The thought of letting them come out is always a torment for me. And then the so many incidents that happen, now one way, now another. Many times this makes me think that maybe it is not will of God that they be published. Otherwise so many things would not happen. Who knows whether the Lord wants my sacrifice in words, but with facts he wants to spare me a sorrow so great that only the thought that I might oppose his divine will makes me say, Fiat, Fiat. But while I was thinking of this, my always lovable Jesus moved in my interior and told me,
My daughter, the will of God, that the writings of my divine will come to light is absolute, and as many incidents as may occur, it will triumph of everything. And even if it should take years and years, it will know how to dispose everything so that its absolute will be fulfilled. The time in which they will come to light is relative and conditional upon when creatures dispose themselves to receive a good so great, and upon those who must occupy themselves with being its criers, and make the sacrifice so as to bring the new era of peace, the new sun which will dispel all the clouds of evils. If you knew how many graces and lights I keep prepared for those whom I see disposed to occupy themselves with them, they will be the first to feel the balm, the light, the life of my fiat. Look at me, how I keep prepared in my hands the clothes, the food, the ornaments, the gifts for those who must occupy themselves with them. But I am looking to see who the true disposed ones are, so as to invest them with the prerogatives that are needed for a work so holy, which I so much love and want them to do. But I must also say to you, woe to those who are opposed or might place obstacles. You, however, do not move anything, not even 1 comma of that which is needed to prepare the kingdom of my divine will, so that, on my part and on your part, by doing what is needed to give this great good to creatures, nothing may be lacking on our part, so that as soon as the creatures dispose themselves, they may find everything in place in that which is needed. Did I not do the same in the work of redemption? I prepared everything. I did and suffered everything. And in spite of the so many adverse incidents that I saw, my very apostles vacillating, doubtful, timid, to the point of running away from me when they saw me in the hands of the enemies, being left alone, not having the good of seeing any fruit while I was on earth. In spite of all this, I neglected nothing of what was needed for the complete work of redemption, so that, when they would open their eyes to look at what I had done, they would find all the good in order to be redeemed, and nothing might be lacking to them in order to receive the fruit of my coming upon earth. My daughter, the kingdom of my redemption and that of my will are so linked together that they hold hands and almost have the same lot because of human ingratitude. But one who must give and form a good so great should not pay attention to this, nor stop. It is necessary that we do complete works, so that nothing may be lacking on our part, and so that, as they dispose themselves, they may find everything that is needed to receive the kingdom of my will.
After this, I continued my acts in the divine volition, but I kept feeling oppressed, and my sweet Jesus, making himself seen again, seemed to hold 3 or 4 priests tightly in his arms, and holding them against his breast, as if he wanted to infuse in them the life of his divine heart, he told me,
My daughter, look at how tightly I hold in my arms those who must occupy themselves with the writings on my adorable will. As soon as I see some little disposition in them to occupy themselves with them, I take them in my arms to infuse in them what is needed for a work so holy. Therefore, courage, do not fear.
Then, after this, he made himself seen in my interior. In the depth of it I saw a most extensive field, not of earth, but of clearest crystal, Every 2 or 3 steps in this field, there was baby Jesus surrounded by a light. Oh, how beautiful this field looked with so many babes. Each of them had his own sun, radiant and beautiful, all for himself. I was surprised at seeing so many Jesuses in the depth of my soul, each of them all intent on enjoying his own sun. And my sweet Jesus, seeing my surprise, told me,
My daughter, do not be surprised. This field that you see is my divine will, and the many Jesuses you see are my truths regarding my fiat. In each of them there is a life of mine, which, forming its radiant sun, surrounds itself with light so as to spread its endless rays to make known that I myself am the springing fount of my truths. See, then, how many lives of mine I have put out, as many truths as I have manifested to you. So many are my lives that I have put out with the very source of the sun, not just a simple light. And I have remained in their midst so that all might feel the creative strength and virtue in these truths. And I love each of them so much as I love myself. And whoever would not want to recognize my life, my sun, my creative virtue in these truths about my fiat is either blind or has lost the good of the intellect. Also, it should be of great consolation for you to possess within yourself as many lives of mine for as many truths as I have manifested to you. Therefore, recognize the great good, greater treasure I could not entrust to you, and do not be concerned. The sun will know how to make its way, and since it is light, no one will be able to prevent its step.
Then he added, with a more tender accent,
My daughter, our adorable Majesty loves the creature so much that we put our life at her disposal to make of her another similar to us. We place our life as a model before the creature, so that by modeling herself on our model, she may copy our life and form facsimiles of her creator. This is why we use many stratagems, finesses of love, and we give surprising graces to see ourselves copied in the creature. And only then shall we be content, when as our love, united with our divine will, conquers the creature, we will be able to recognize our image and likeness in her just as she came out of our creative hands.